Headshot Team Special. This covers Professional Racing Leagues Incorporated for the private use of our audience or the use of this broadcast. Descriptions or accounts of this show without the express written consent of the National Association of Professional Racing Leagues Incorporated. On the PCSRA Sports Network from Learfield IMG. Welcome to the PCSRA Paddock Pass Show. We're glad that you're here to start a new journey of the PCSRA as the chase for the 2021 Chicas has been brought to you by Budweiser, Love's Travel Stops, iHeartMedia, The Oklahoman, Newcastle, Sonic Drive-Ins, and by the Oklahoma Highway Safety Office, where we encourage all of you fans that together we can end DUI. Now, for the greatest show on earth, from Daniel Voiles.
Hey folks, before we start today's episode of Triple P and get to a few announcements before this party gets underway, as that had to pop up for no damn reason. Number one is that with the fact that this week marks the 1 year anniversary since the passing of my stepmom, the thumbnail you see on your screen is a reason, is a tribute to her, and I hope you guys respect that in a really good way and all that. Second off, I am not going to be messaging. I'm not going to be talking to my girlfriend because I just don't feel like doing it because I just had a rough night last night at work. So I hope you all understand. If you don't, I'm sorry. I can't help you. And yeah, so letting you all know about that little situation as we get on. So please respect the decision why I'm not going to talk to my girlfriend. I will talk to her when I feel like it, not right now, because it is going to be a little disrespectful for me to do that. So please understand the circumstances. And with that being said, hi Sean. With that said, please be outstanding for the national anthem of the country of Mexico for Sergio Checo Perez.
Download the Domino's app today and become a piece of the pie.
I didn't want Domino's on there, you darping phone. And to have only the two Mexican drivers we have in the field, being Manny Rivera and Frida Suarez, which I don't think a lot of us are that surprised, if you know what I mean. So, yes. So, welcome to Triple P. As I said earlier, as you can tell, the reason that you see my stepmom as a thumbnail, this is one of the reasons that, and I said this back almost 12 months ago last year, that this show is me honoring my stepmom, not because, the passion I do for this show, but for me to keep doing this show after she died around almost this week. Yeah, this week is the 1-year anniversaries, but, my passion to continue to do this show for her in her honor, I will continue to do that show for her in her honor, and she would be very greatly appreciated in heaven that I will always continue doing this show in her honor. So, with that said, hopefully you are all had a great start to your day. It is currently 72 degrees here in Yukon. Sunny skies. Winds east-southeast at around 10 miles an hour. On this day in history, this day marks, a black day in the NASCAR world, as this day in 2015, Joey Logano won the most controversy race at Talladega on this day in 2015, which I don't think a lot of people want to even talk about that Cup race at Talladega. Now, don't we? I don't. I didn't even watch it because I was checking something on my phone. So, yeah. Quick stats real quickly before we get going. First time the Cup Series is racing on Halloween since 2010. The winner that day, Clint Bowyer. What make was he driving? A Chevrolet. Could history repeat itself with a Chevy driver winning on Halloween? We'll just have to wait and see as far as that is concerned. So we're going to recap COTA and Kansas. Thank you, producer. Which Kansas was the second race of the second race of the round of 8 for both Xfinity and Cup. We will talk about the W Series and the F1 race from COTA. First time ever the W Series got to go outside of Europe for once. I'll give you my thoughts and opinions about how good the races were. I'll rate them. We'll go through the top story news. There was a news topic I was going to do last week, but I forgot to do it, and I'm going to cover it on here instead. We'll tell you what has been going on around the news and notes in today's NR report. Talk about the record-breaking amount of cautions we had in the 2022 Sonoma weekend. You'll be shocked at how many yellows it was, and ironically enough, has something to do with one of my car numbers on the channel. Hint, hint. We'll tell you what's been going on around other stuff, and then we will look ahead to the return of supercars, which is for the first time since, listen to this, July. As Supercars is back for the first time since July, like since after my birthday. That is, let me think. We're in October. Let me think. They've been off August, September, almost October. It's been almost 3 months since we had Supercars race at a track. They last raced. If I have it pulled up on my phone. The last race they ran was July 18th. Can you believe that? July 18th. That is almost, today's the 25th, so let me think. July 18th, so that was 1, 2, 3 months and 7 days since they last ran a points race. That's almost a full off season for NASCAR, but in supercars. That's how long they've been off. And here's the catch. The next 4 races are in Sydney before we set us up for the greatest race in Australian motorsports history. The Bathurst 1000, one of my favorite races around this time of year, even though it didn't happen this month, but it'll happen in December. But still, in all seriousness, the greatest enduro race you need to go to around the world. The Bathurst 1000 is like the Daytona 500 in Australia. And it's not one car and one driver. It's two drivers with one car. And they're running 1,000 kilometers, or in U.S. terms, a little over 600 miles. So, yeah. And that's going to be fun. Also, off topic here, my girlfriend got me a OU beat Oklahoma State shirt for Bedlam, which is coming up in a little bit. So, hooray. So, now you know where we are at. Next Monday, I have a video coming out about the upcoming events and yada yada yada, which I'm gonna probably record some of that next week. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. Now, and we also have some supercar news and all that. So then we'll look ahead to, of course, we have Sydney, which we're glad to see supercars back. We also have, if I look at the agenda, we have Elimination Weekend. Now, little note here. This time last year, we did not, I repeat, we did not do predictions this time last year for Martinsville because of the fact I had no power. Big difference between 12 months, what happened this time last year and this year. Last year, it was snowy, it was icy, freaking cold, and I went like, I don't know, 2.5 weeks until I even got power, and this year we got, sunny, and I'm in a group home, so big difference. And plus, I don't have a damn tree that will land on top of my vehicle. Thank God for that. So, just letting you all know about that. So finally, we are going to finally have predictions for once this time here in 2021. Just letting you all know that. All right, now let's get right to the seriousness. Let's talk about COTA first. COTA is I'm gonna give you my ratings for COTA so I can get it out of the way after I go through the highlights. So, yeah. I did watch race 1 on YouTube. If you have not seen race number 1, I will put a link down in the description. Hello, Cody. So, the top 10 results for race 1 for the W Series. Jamie Chadwick, the winner. Emma Kimmelainen, second. Alice Powell, third. Abby Pulling, fourth. Becky Vister, fifth. Jessica Hawkins, sixth. Sarah Moore, seventh. Narina Marti, eighth. Fabian Woolwine, ninth. Mika Koyama came home in 10th. Caitlin Wood filled in for Arena, who could not race the final 2 races due to travel restrictions. So that sucked for her, if you know what I mean. So there you go. Abby Eaton had a mechanical failure. She had to sadly go out of the race, which that was too bad, if you know what I mean. And then we only had 16 drivers in race 2. Jamie Chadwick wins the race and becomes your 2-time champion of the W Series. Abby Pulling second. Emma Kimmelainen third. Sarah Moore fourth. Becky Vister fifth. Alice Powell sixth. Baitlin Garcia seventh. Narina Marti eighth. Ayla Argerin ninth. And Caitlin Wood completed the top 10. It was a good season. Congratulations to Jamie Chadwick on winning the championship. She's now won in 2019 and now 2021. Who knows what would have happened if it would have been ran this year. Or, not this year, last year I'm referring to. But either way, congratulations, Jamie Chadwick, 2-time champion and the only female champion in motorsports. You cannot take that away from Jamie Chadwick so far. Then we go to the F1 race for the USA Grand Prix, which Here's a little shocker for all of you. The attendance for the United States Grand Prix, a whopping 140,000 people. It was a sellout. Almost 400,000 fans were there at COTA for the 3 days. That tells you how popular F1 in USA is. Of course, it wasn't like that at Indy, but it's nice to see a full grandstand. Good to see the United States GP back. I really miss this race, and I love doing it on F1 because of, well, how cool the race is. And it was a good race, even though we did have a VSC, but oh well. First incident of the race, for those that didn't hear, contact between Nicholas Latifi and Lance Stroll, which they made some contact in turn number 1 at the start. Nikita Mazepin had the headrest, and if you remember back in 2017 in Azerbaijan, where Lewis Hamilton had the same problem where the headrest was starting to come off the car, and if it does come off, you are instructed to pit, which is fix the headrest where it protects the driver. So Mazepin had to come in the pits early to not only change to a set of hards, but also had to fix the headrest because, quote-unquote, that's a safety violation, if you know what I mean. Pierre Gasly, we found out, had suspension problems. He unfortunately dropped out of the race. Same with the 2 Alpine drivers. They had mechanical problems. Was not their weekend, unfortunately. I hate that for both Fernando Alonso and Ocon. By the way, two races in a row at COTA for Fernando Alonso where he goes out with a mechanical failure. Of course, he crashed out of this race in 2018 driving for McLaren, and I might start thinking about picking him for driver to stay away from, so there you go. At the end of the day, however, Max Verstappen, who has never won the U.S. Grand Prix before, ended up winning the U.S. Grand Prix, snaps Mercedes win streak at COTA, so there you go. So the top 10 results for the F1 race, Max Verstappen, the winner. He extends his points lead in the Drivers' Championship by 12 points over Lewis Hamilton, who finished second, who got the fastest lap of the race. Sergio Perez third in his home Grand Prix. The closest he can get to a home race because he has 2 home races, USA and Mexico. So there you go. Charles Leclerc fourth, Daniel Ricciardo fifth, Valtteri Bottas sixth. Not sure what happened to Bottas, who took a 5-grid spot penalty for a new engine. Why? I don't know. Carlos Sainz seventh, Lando Norris eighth, Yuki Tsunoda ninth, and Sebastian Vettel completes up top 10. W Series 7.9, Season 8.5. Shut up, phone! I'm doing a stream over here. Somebody's going to put that in the quotes chat. F1 7.8. Only one VSC, and I think it was a debris, which resulted in a VSC. So, yeah, it was kind of one of those races. But hey, it was still good to see a great battle for the lead, some good battles on track, and you know, I love COTA. I'm happy for the U.S. Grand Prix being back. Now, let's talk about Kansas. Around this time, I had to wait 2 weeks to even talk about the first 2 races of the round of 8. So, big difference when the weather cooperates, especially Mother Nature. All right, let's talk about Kansas with the Xfinity Series Kansas Lottery 300. I sadly didn't get to watch it because, let's see, family. I had to go see my dad is why I didn't watch the Xfinity race. There's my legitimate excuse, which I know everybody would understand, that I am more responsible to see my dad and also try to talk to grandma, and that's why family comes first, and that's why I didn't watch the Xfinity race. But I'll tell you how it went down. Competition yellow from laps 22 to 25. Joey Gase went out with an electrical issue. Gray Golding blew his engine. First actual incident, the 26 of Dylan Lupton turned Jade Buford into the outside wall on the front straightaway, did some pretty significant damage to that 48 car, and Jade Buford's day was done. Rest of stage 1 was clean. That was won by playoff contender AJ Allmendinger. Nothing happened in stage 2. Austin Cindric, playoff contender, won. So there you go. Then Myatt Snyder, who was recently eliminated. Wait a minute. I don't know if Myatt Snyder, playoff contenders, Daniel Hemrick and Noah Gragson had an incident on the back straightaway. Joe Graff Jr. spun off turn 2. Mason Massey crashed in turn number 2. Then we had debris caution from Joe Graff Jr. Brandon Jones spun off turn number 2. Sam Mayer on the final caution turned Noah Gragson into Harrison Burton, took both cars in the wall. In that process, their days were done. And at the end of the day, Elijah's favorite driver, which I know if you're going to watch the Pit Stop show, everybody's going to start laughing. Elijah's favorite driver and Cody's not-so-favorite driver, Ty Gibbs, won the Xfinity race. Sorry, Elijah, if you're watching this stream. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I had to do that. Sean's reaction. Sean, Elijah's going to kill me when he sees this stream. The top 10 results for the Xfinity Series race. Back to the serious note in hand. Ty Gibbs won. Austin Cindric second. By the way, Ty Gibbs wins Rookie of the Year. And he's ahead of some full-time drivers. That tells you how wacko Rookie of the Year became. A.J. Allmendinger, 3rd. Justin Haley, 4th. Ryan Sieg, 5th. Brett Moffitt, 6th. Michael Annett, 7th. Sam Mayer, 8th. 9th. Justin Allgaier and Myatt Snyder complete the top 10. That was 4 playoff drivers finished in the top 10. Where did the other 4 finish? Brandon Jones got 11th. Daniel Hemrick, 15th. Harrison Burton, 34th, and Noah Gragson, 35th. So, if I look at the points totals right now, yes, that's Cody's not-so-favorite driver and Elijah's favorite driver that won the Xfinity race. So, because I know Sean's going to ask, hey, Elijah, how was the Xfinity race? And I'm going to burst out laughing. That's so funny. Only in the NR community can you do that to Elijah just to trigger the shit out of him, and then I burst out laughing. Only on this channel or Elijah's channel can you do that just to get him triggered. Okay. Cody is grounding Courtney Lynn. That's what I was going to say. Cody is grounding Courtney Lynn. Not except if you try anything. Okay, so back to the topic. Austin Cindric, A.J. Allmendinger are 47 points ahead of 4th place. I believe Allgaier, I need to find out what the point gap is so far. Let me. How many points is Justin Allgaier ahead of the cut line? Is it like 40? Yeah, I think it's 40. And then I believe Hemrick is like 2 points above the cut line. Or something like that. I don't know. Because right now in the danger zone, Justin Haley, Noah Gragson, Brandon Jones, Harrison Burton, which some of those drivers are not necessarily in a must-win situation, but that's just where they are as far as points total is concerned. Then we go to the Cup Series race for the second race of the round of 8. I didn't watch it either because I was watching the F1 race and then I went to work after that. So, yeah. Here's a little note. Hi, Elijah. Speaking of Elijah, hi. Gotta love Grandpa's money. I have not talked to Elijah in quite a while. Yeah. In all seriousness, either tonight or this weekend I will talk to my girlfriend and just tell her I wasn't mad at her. So, rain came in the area from lap 11 to lap 15, brought out a 15-minute red flag, which, funny thing is, the U.S. Grand Prix finished after Stage 1 concluded, so at least everybody got to watch the rest of the NASCAR race. That's good. Kyle Busch cut down the tire not once but twice. The first time he hit the wall, that brought out a yellow. Second time he did it, didn't bring out a yellow in that regard. Chad Fincham went to the garage area for handling. I think there was more issues with that car, so his race was done, so that's too bad for him. Stage 1 was won by Kyle Larson, playoff contender. Nothing in stage number 2, that was won by William Byron. Justin Haley then blew up under that yellow, took his car to the garage. Good one, Sean. With an engine failure. Tough break for Justin Haley, who's going to be going full-time next year in Cup. So, Anthony Alfredo got into the wall off of turn number 4, did a lot of damage to his car. His race was done. Ryan Newman spun off of turn 2. He didn't hit anything. A lot of drivers had troubles with tire issues. MTJ had a tire problem, but managed to bounce back to finish 7th, which I'll go through the top 10 results in just a second. Brad Keselowski had a tire problem. Kyle Busch had a tire problem. Ryan Blaney, who, by the way, got into an incident with Austin Dillon. It looked like Austin got underneath the 12. And we always talk about this at Kansas. The car on the outside, whenever you're going side by side, what happens is the car on the inside gets a little loose, starts to wiggle, and Austin was trying to save his car to where he didn't get wrecked, and he accidentally got in the 12, and that was kind of a racing deal because there was nothing that Austin Dillon couldn't do, but he was trying to avoid wrecking. By the way, figures, Cody, I just got done having spaghetti, if you know what I mean. But Ryan Blaney's day was done after that, which was too bad because he had a good run going. So, and at the end of the day, Kyle Larson picks up his 9th win of the season, and on the anniversary of the Hendrick Motorsports plane that went down, that happened 17 years ago in 2004. So there you go. So the top 10 results for the Cup Series. Kyle Larson, the winner. Chase Elliott, 2nd. 2 playoff contenders. Kevin Harvick, 3rd. Kurt Busch, 4th. Denny Hamlin, 5th. William Byron, 6th. Martin Truex Jr., as I mentioned, finished 7th. Christopher Bell, who was recently eliminated, in 8th. Christopher Bell loses his crew chief for this weekend in Martinsville for loose lug nuts on his car. Joey Logano, 9th. Austin Dillon completed the top 10. Where did the rest of your playoff drivers finish? By the way, hi, Great Lakes, before I forget. Brad Keselowski fell lap down, never recovered, came home 17th. Kyle Busch finished 28th. And Ryan Blaney ended up 37th. In the finishing results. So, as things stand for the Cup Series, as far as the playoff situation is concerned, the 4 drivers, as I'm not in the right category, give me 1 second. So the 4 drivers right now that are in the danger zone entering Martinsville, which are Ryan Blaney, Martin Truex Jr., Brad Keselowski, and Joey Logano. And as Sean, Cody, Taylor, myself, and I talked about this in the VC, the Cup Series is kind of not in a must-win situation, unlike the Truck Series. So that's going to be something we'll have to keep an eye on during the course of the race. So we'll see about that. So, yeah. Anyway, my thoughts on it. It was an interesting race. Was really a chaotic race, if you know what I mean. So looking forward to seeing how that's going to play out during the course. I'm going to give Kansas the entire weekend a 7.5, if you know what I mean. Oh, boy. So, yeah, that's where I put that at. So. All right. This news broke since we were last with you. Carson Ware, who is the son of Rick Ware and the brother of Cup Series driver Cody Ware, was suspended indefinitely by NASCAR after he was arrested the Wednesday after the Texas weekend for 2 counts of assault, one on a female, one like regular assault, and then damaged property. What I found out was he was staying with, I think it was an RWR crew member at the house at the time. They said he was drunk, which, by the way, do not do alcohol because that's bad. He was drunk, and police were notified around 2:30, 3 o'clock a.m., and they arrested him. He is on a $1,000 bond, and his court appearance is, I want to say, November the 17th. And by the way, a big mistake to Carson Ware, so... it was November 19th. That's what Pac said. Who? The Wi-Fi's fine. So yeah. And that was crazy. So, yeah, so here's the arrest description. Arrest on charge, which is assault on female, assault simple, injury to personal property. It happened at 3:12 a.m., so that's where it happened, so. But he's currently in jail, which is hopefully a lesson he will learn from this. We had some penalties from Kansas. I will get to that in just a second. From Pocris. If I can get down to the penalties. This is from Tyler Allen is now listed as the interim crew chief. Tyler Allen will replace the suspended Adam Stevens. Adam Stevens was suspended for 2 loose lug nuts after the Kansas race. He was fined $20,000. Because if you end up losing 3 lug nuts, that's either you'll get a suspension and a disqualification, if you ask me. So, that's something to point out. This is also the last weekend where we will have no practice and qualify. At Phoenix, we will have practice and qualifying. The 51 is 1 point ahead of the 15. This is regarding about the 51's charter, because if they end up in the bottom 3 in the last 2 races, they lose their charter big time. So, there you go. Joey Logano and Chase Briscoe's crew chiefs fined $10,000 for 1 loose lug nut, not properly tightened. So 10 grand, no fine, no points penalty, and all that. Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano's cars went to the R&D Center. No penalties on that as far as that situation is concerned. Let's see, Xfinity penalties. There was some penalties I'll need to mention in the Xfinity series. Quinn House, car chief, is back this weekend. Hopefully we'll be at the track at Martinsville because they failed 3 times and his car chief got ejected. So, Xfinity penalties, if I can get to them real quickly. By the way, Nick Sanchez won the ARCA race Saturday night. Ty Gibbs wins the ARCA title because he started the race, so there you go. Yeah, Barry theoretically would have tied Ty Gibbs, but Ty Gibbs won the tiebreaker, so had Josh Berry tied Ty Gibbs would have won the tiebreaker, if you know what I mean. So, okay. Now, Xfinity. Our Motorsports number 23 had a lost ballot, which I believe was, I think it's like a $10 or something $1,000 fine. Or no, $5,000 fine for AJ Allmendinger and Jones, but here's the catch. Our Motorsports number 23 lost ballast in post-race inspection. Crew Chief Kenneth Roger, Car Chief Drew Beeson, and a crew member has been suspended for 4 races. Now, you're asking yourselves, okay, there's only 2 races left in the season, so how are they going to do the other 2 races? This is almost like what happened to the trucks, like to one of the Kyle Busch Motorsports crew chiefs, where they got suspended for 3 races, is they will serve the last 2 races on their suspension this year. The remaining 2 races, hi David, the remaining 2 races will carry over to next season, which is Daytona and also, I want to say Auto Club. I could be wrong. So, but, yeah. So, they'll serve the last 2 races of this year. The suspension will carry over to 2022. So, there you go. So that's where we are at as far as that's concerned. Okay, who pinged me? Oh, that. Daniel Ricciardo got to race Dale Earnhardt's awesome car, and he also ran the special helmet, paying tribute to Dale Earnhardt Sr. So there you go. I want Cody Smart's opinion about this. This is from 7 News Sydney. This is regarding about the Australian Grand Prix for the future. NSW is considering a bold bid to steal the Formula One Grand Prix from Melbourne. 7 News can reveal high-level talks are underway to potentially stage Australia's version of the famous Monaco race on our streets. What do you say about that, folks? Interesting. It's interesting if you know what I mean. So, Formula One staff must adhere to dress code in Saudi Arabia, which that's a lot of controversy. F1 fans, let me know what you all think about that in the comments section. It should be interesting. IMSA, and I'll talk about this on the last episode of the IMSA podcast. IMSA and iRacing extends partnership through 2023, which we are excited for them. Christian Lundgaard is now driving for RLL Racing. By the way, they had a test, and the 98 is going to be an all-star effort next season for Indy cars, so that's really good. They'll have Marco Andretti run the races. Marco Andretti run part-time and put this new kid that just got graduated up to IndyCar, as far as that's concerned. For the love of Pete, regarding the dress code. Well, that's Saudi Arabia for y'all. The Middle East needs a dress code. Yes, thank you for clarifying. And it's not F1. It's also F2 who has to follow the dress code deal. So, yeah. That's crazy, don't you think? If you know what it means. So, yeah. It should be interesting to see what happens. As my phone was being a derping hyena. But we'll see. Yeah. What did YouTube do, David? Should be interesting to see how that will play out. So, also, don't forget, if you want further information on the IMSA news, don't forget November 13th, the season finale of the IMSA podcast. We're definitely looking forward to that. Is there any other news? Oh, this one from today. From Bob Pockris. This is the attendance clause in the Dover sanctioning agreement, referring to Dover National Speedway. For anyone that asked me, what am I referring to? Seems like NASCAR started doing this recently, so if it does move a race, it helps if there's a legal challenge. So, yeah. So basically, in other words, is they're trying to remove... Today, I posted this from Adam Stern. Thank you to Adam Stern. NASCAR is appealing to the Ohio Supreme Court to dismiss a ruling from the State Tax Commission that it owes $550,000 US in commercial activity taxes because its races and merchandise are watched/sold there. What do you think about that? That's interesting, if you know what I mean. Really interesting. I don't know how that's going to play out, but we'll just have to wait and see as far as that's concerned. Yeah. Little sport news. Oliver Marmol is the new manager for the St. Louis Cardinals. I'm definitely not looking forward to that, to be honest with you. Well, you know who I'm rooting for. Go LA Dodgers, so, yeah. Jeremy Clements. I don't know if Sean saw... Accepted. I don't know if Sean saw this paint scheme Jeremy Clements is running for Martinsville. I don't know if he saw it in the President's chat or not, but Clements' scheme. Did I put it in the President's chat or did I not put it in the President's chat? I'll go ahead and put it in the President's chat. Look at this paint scheme Jeremy Clements is running for Martinsville. Honestly, this car is beautiful. In this chat right here as well. This is probably one of the easiest schemes you can pick apart this weekend. Got pink, look like some chocolate. I don't know what that is. Is that like a... I don't know if that's a cake or something like that, but either way, that's a really nice looking paint scheme. And probably one of the most easiest paint schemes you can pick apart. I really like the scheme, so. So, yeah, really, yeah, it's like underfunded teams are running some cool-ass paint schemes, and it's like, dang. So, but definitely one of the best schemes I've seen so far. So, let's see here. As I'm looking through, Somebody on Twitter just made a cool ass concept for lift kits for less for Sheldon Creed for his Xfinity Series debut next season, which looks badass in my opinion. Oh, here it is. NASCAR has hinted that it's going to strip more poor performing tracks of their races in the coming years, and it's prepared to invest heavily in new ideas like a street race. Quote, the benefit of making some of these moves really outweighs the costs. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments section. I don't know if I agree with that, but let me know what you all think about that. So, yeah. Let's see here. I don't think we have any other top stories other than Sparrow Dynamics is sponsoring Spencer Boyd's car in the Xfinity Series this weekend at Martinsville. It's like these underfunded teams come out with the most awesome paint schemes in the freaking world. It's like, bruh. It's like, yeah. Figures. Alright, let us see here. I don't think I have any other news and notes. It's like, yeah. Figures. I know there's a caution sign on, but I'm just going to ignore it. Okay? So anyway, I think that's it for the news as far as I can find out. So, oh, here's a couple of stats you need to hear. I just saw it a second ago, and then I saw it a second ago because one of my friends posted it, and now I can't find it. Kyle Larson has led the most laps in a single season, breaking Jeff Gordon's record in 2001. That's the news I wanted to pass out to you all. So that's really good. Yeah. Dale Earnhardt Jr., Clint Bowyer, Tony Stewart will participate in the tire test tomorrow at Bowman Gray Stadium with the next-gen car. NASCAR and Goodyear are conducting the test to determine the exact tire compound to be used for the clash at the LA Coliseum in 2022. Should be interesting to see how that will go. Ryan Hunter-Reay is with Ed Carpenter Racing for a test at Sonoma, so wish him good luck with his new team. Atlanta's still doing their repaving as usual, and that's about it, if you know what I mean. So, all right. So, let's get into some. Let me look at my agenda real quickly. Yeah. Time to take you through a big load of news and notes in today's NR report. The 2022 BHRA Reese's Pro Series took part at Sonoma Raceway, and it was none other than a complete crash fest. I mean, it was a really crash fest. So, combine the four races. We had 43 cautions for 87 laps. And no disrespect to Lacey Washington, who won the event in a dominant fashion, which kudos to her. 26 cautions on a road course for the BHRA, most in series history, most in track history for Sonoma. We've also broke a broadcast record. The previous was the NASCAR on Fox 2005 Coke 600, where they had like 20 plus cautions at Charlotte. We broke it by probably like 3 yellows, if you know what I mean. The previous record in BHRA for cautions was 15 yellows at Bristol. That was in 2012. The race that Betty Barrett won in convincingly fashion. We've never had 26 yellows on a road course. The average we had from when BHRA started in 2010 through 2015, we averaged a total of 5 to 7 cautions at average. Now it's going to go up, which is crazy. 43 cautions combining the division races, the most we've had since we acquired the divisions back in 2016. We never had that many yellows in a single weekend. And that's really a big bruh so far. BHRA will be racing at Michigan International Speedway in a few weeks' time. So we'll see if that will limit the yellows or if it's going to continue, if you know what I mean. So, getting on to, I think that's it. So, yeah. Alright, so, program note. Because of the fact I've had to postpone Fright Night because of work on Wednesday, we'll have a special radio coverage of Fright Night at Frontier City, October 30th. Time is TBA, so we'll have the radio version, and you'll definitely join us for our scares at around Frontier City. It's going to be a great night so far, which, by the way, that also means I will not be watching the Xfinity race because of that reason. The Xfinity night race, to be more specific. So there you go. Looking forward to what will be a great Fright Night. We're going to have a lot of fun, and it should be a blast for me doing it. So, yeah. It will be me, Toby, or no, Toby's not going to be there. It'll be me, CJ, Daryl, Brian, Jack, and I think that's it. Me, Brian, CJ, Steven, Daryl, and Jack will be all there. Toby won't be joining us, sadly. And David just got an N-word. So, yeah. So, definitely looking forward to what will be a fun night and all of that good stuff so far. Here's our upcoming motorsports calendar. Of course, Monday or Tuesday will be Camping World Truck Series Rewind, next week, that is, from Martinsville, from Saturday afternoon's race. Truck Series will start at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, Xfinity at 6 p.m. This Saturday. Cup is 3 p.m. Eastern on Sunday with Countdown to Green and all that. Should be a great night leading up to Sunday Night Football. Should be a very fun show nevertheless. So definitely looking forward to that. So our upcoming motorsports brought to you by Mobil 1, the official motor oil of the BHRA and the PCSRA. And now it's time to look ahead to Sydney and Martinsville. Sydney is going to be a really good race, and we're glad to see supercars back for the first time in a while, so we'll see what happens. Martinsville, we're going to see the greatest beating and banging, and this is the last chance for drivers to try to get into the Final Four to compete for the championship. So the remaining 7 drivers in Cup and all 8 playoff drivers in Xfinity and Trucks have their work cut out. Trucks haven't raced since earlier this month at Talladega, so it is their first race back. And of course, this is the final no practice and qualifying for Trucks, Xfinity, and Cup, because next week at Phoenix we will have practice and qualifying, so that will be good. We also have a ARCA West race to determine who will win the championship over there next week at Phoenix. So we are definitely looking forward to what will be a very good weekend of racing. So, with that being said, yeah. But it is time for predictions for this channel. You guys know the drill. Driver to win, driver to stay away from, dark horse. Refresh everybody's minds on the points. Cup, 25 points for a playoff driver, 1 point for a non-playoff driver, 12 points for eliminations. Just a quick refresher. 13 points for the Truck Series and Xfinity Series for playoff drivers, 1 point for non-playoff drivers, and like I said, 12 points for eliminations. What did it do to the points, you asked, for Global and NASCAR? Here's what it did. So as we are leaving COTA, Cody Smart had a big lead and it got shrunk. It's now down to 96 points. Yep, fairy tale point for David. And the best part for David, he did it on my stream, so that's funny. So anyway, Cody Smart has a 96-point cushion over me in the global standings. He has 671. I have 575. Zachary Taylor not too far behind in third at 539. Nathan Orman's fourth with 471. Brendan Rogers fifth with 123 points. Cody Goforth rounds out the field in global with 77 points. As I had a fly get right up my nose, and that was not good. So the NASCAR standings as we enter Martinsville after adding the 150 points for all of the panelists. Cody Smart, 939. He is in first place. He is up on Nathan Orman by 102 points. Not too far behind is Zachary Taylor. He is in third place with 826 points. Yours truly is in fourth, all alone in the 700s at 785. Rounding out the top five is Allison Rainey with 680 points. In sixth place is Kyle Langland with 518 points. Great Lakes is seventh with 467 points. Sydney Curtis, who's made a limited amount of starts this season, she has in eighth with 465 points. Brendan Rogers is ninth with 251 points. Quentin Moore rounds out the top 10 with 202 points. And Cody Goforth, 27 points in the bag. So that's the points right now. So, the four of us, well, I'm about to say five of us in just a second because Brendan just sent me his predictions for Global. So, yeah. And that's a fairy tale point for David, so. Alright, so for Global, starting with Cody Smart. Hang on a second. Coulthard. Alright, so here's our predictions for Global. Starting with Cody Smart. For driver to win, he's going to take SVG. Jake Koleski, driver stay away from. Jamie Wincup, the dark horse. For yours truly, I took Jamie Wincup, driver to win. Driver stay away from Will Brown, dark horse SVG. Nathan Orman, Cameron Waters, driver to win. That's a Burrow moment. Driver stay away from Brody Koleski. Mark Winterbottom, the dark horse. Zachary Taylor, Chad Monster, driver to win. Will Davidson, driver stay away from. Anton D. Pascal, the dark horse. Brendan Rogers, driver to win. Jack Smith, driver stay away from SVG. And Fabian Coulthard as the dark horse. Now it is time for the picks for NASCAR. The NASCAR do not I will go first, and then after the stream is over, the predictions for the NASCAR side will be open. So I'm going to start it off, as always, for my truck series picks. For yours truly, for trucks, I'm going to start the party off. Driver to win for the truck race. I feel like it's going to be a repeat of Bristol. And when I say a repeat of Bristol, I mean if you don't believe the facts. My driver to win at Bristol, or driver to win for Martinsville, will pull what they did at Bristol. I'm going to say Chandler Smith will be my driver to win and pull off an upset to make it in the Final Four to compete for the championship. Everyone, Barra! Driver to stay away from. Somebody's going to kill me after I pull that little stunt off. In all seriousness, when I look at Bristol, the last short track, this driver was nearly close to being in the danger zone. Was nearly close to being. I'm going to say the driver to stay away from Sheldon Creed. And my dark horse, he is going to be one of the 4 drivers to get eliminated, but I'm going to pick him anyway. Carson Hocevar is the dark horse. Now to my eliminations for trucks. Carson Hocevar will be my first driver. Let me look at the points for the truck series before I forget. So Carson Hocevar will be my first driver to be eliminated from the playoffs. I'm going to say Stuart Friesen gets eliminated. I'm going to take Zane Smith to get eliminated. And my 4th driver to get eliminated. Let's see. I've already picked Chandler Smith for driver to win. I'm going to shock you all and say Sheldon Creed, the defending Truck Series champion, will be eliminated. So that means my final 4 to battle out for the championship are going to be John Hunter Nemechek, Ben Rhodes, Matt Crafton, and Chandler Smith, which I think Rookie of the Year will get wrapped up. And Cody's looking at me going, Donnie, I can't believe you're going to take a risk. If that works in your favor, then I'm going to be so screwed. Oh, Cody's going to kill me for that one. Yeah. Good luck. Thank you. Xfinity. Driver to win. Let's look at the last short track for Xfinity, shall we? Before I pull another installment. If that somehow works, that might eliminate Allie. You think? Oh, at least you're not going to steal the spotlight. Let me look at the results from the last short track race for Xfinity. I'm basing these predictions off the last short track race. So let's see, their last short track race was at Bristol. Okay, let's tell you who I think is going to be the driver to win. Give me the dinger. Dark horse Austin Cindric. Just to get that out of the way. So I'm taking AJ Allmendinger as driver to win. Austin Cindric as my dark horse. My driver to stay away from. when you talk about short track racing, as I look at the my favorite list here, I feel like, to me, he's really going to have another struggle so far. I'm sad to say this. Stay away from Noah Gragson. This round has been an absolute disaster for him. Elimination. Gragson will be my first driver to be eliminated. Pick number 2. Oh boy, this is going to be the best. This is going to be bad. My second driver to be eliminated. As much as I would like to see a Toyota make it in the Final Four to compete for the championship, I'm going to say Daniel Hemrick will be the second driver to get eliminated. And that's a dirt for Cody because of what I did, of what I said. Number 3. My third driver to get eliminated. Brandon Jones. And my fourth driver to get eliminated, I said Brandon Jones would get eliminated. And my fourth driver, I think, will not make it to the championship 4. I'm going to go Harrison Burton. Which means my final 4 for Xfinity will be Justin Haley, Justin Allgaier, Austin Cindric, and AJ Allmendinger. That's my final 4 for the championship. Now to Cup. Oh, this is going to be the fun one. This will be fun. This will be fun. Cody will definitely going to say I'm on the bandwagon train. Well, hell with it. Driver to win. For Cup. I'm taking Kyle Larson. Screw it. Put me on the damn bandwagon. He's going to win all 3 races in a row. Driver to stay away from. This is tough. Let's look at the last short track race for the Cup Series. Cup Series 2021 race results. Their last short track race, as far as I am concerned. I'm basing this off the last short track race, okay? Alright, if I look at the results from the Bristol race. No, I'm doing this so that way I can make sure Cody picks a terrible driver to make sure he loses the points and I win NASCAR. Not except if you try anything. In all seriousness, you know what? I can't pick Kyle Busch because Kyle Busch is too easy. I am going to, however, pick Kyle Busch to be one of the 4 drivers to get eliminated. So, get rid of that. So I can't pick Kyle Busch. MTJ does well at Martinsville. This is a tough one. This is really tough because I really don't know who I think is going to do terrible. I know I'm probably going to get this pick wrong. I'll tell you, MTJ is my dark horse for Cup. Stay away from. Oh, I can't pick Kyle Busch. I'm kind of stalled. Oh, if I pick Chase Elliott, I stole Cody's idea, but I'm not picking Chase. Oh, man. Who to pick for stay away from? You know what? I'm going to trigger JGR. Stay away from Denny Hamlin. I'm picking Denny Hamlin. I know I'm going to get that wrong, but I'm going to take him anyway because Denny Hamlin's going to use the dead Cubs suck strategy to get eliminated. Speaking of eliminations, I'm about to throw a shocker at you all. Kyle Busch will get eliminated. No surprise there. Going to my elimination picks. Number 2. I am going to shock the hell out of you all. And I don't know if you guys are going to call me crazy or say, what in the world was I thinking? I'm going to sing this song. Choke, Hamlin, choke. Choke, Hamlin, choke. I'm picking Denny Hamlin to get eliminated. Cody. Barra! Because JGR needs to quit using the dead Cub strategy, not except if you try anything. Number 3 to get eliminated. Oh, Jesus. Joey Logano will not make it to the championship 4. I hate Logano, and that's it. My 4th driver to get eliminated. This is a tough part. I'm basically down. I'm going to say this. Chase Elliott will make it into the championship 4. Well, here's the thing, Cody. I think Denny Hamlin will fail tech, get sent to the rear, go 2 laps down, and get wrecked by a bunch of idiots, and then NASCAR parks him and gets called to the hauler. Yes. Because it don't matter how many points he is above the cut line. He can have a shit day and still get eliminated. So I'm going to say the 4th driver to get eliminated. I'm not going to pick Truex. Truex I don't think is going to get eliminated. I'm going to say... I'm going to take Ryan Blaney to get eliminated. Which means my final 4 for the championship. Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Martin Truex Jr., and Cody Smart's famous driver, Brad Keselowski. Cody. Barra! That is who I'm taking to be eliminated. I think Cody's probably scratching his head why I'm picking Denny Hamlin to get eliminated. I don't have a choice, but yeah. So that is it for predictions for me. Wow, we have 146 comments. I'm impressed. Oh, man. Yeah, I bet a lot of people are going to look at me and go, damn, Voiles, why'd you pick that as eliminations? So. So, yeah, there you go. So. Alright, so with that all said and done, remember, once the stream is over, the NASCAR predictions will be opened, because I will read everybody else's predictions so far. Final thoughts for me. Well, I can't believe NASCAR's almost over. Next week we'll have the Knockload Taylor 500 at Phoenix. Oh boy. Well, for me, I feel like this is a really an interesting race we're going to have. I feel like this is where we have to figure out who I think is going to be, how Martinsville's going to play out, because, you know, there's not going to be any residue or anything like that on the track. So these drivers are going to have have their work cut out, if you know what I mean. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully it should be a great Martinsville race, and we are definitely looking forward to that, if you know what I mean. Let's take a look at this week's upcoming events, brought to you by Kim K Coach Lines, the official motor coach carrier of the PCSRA. Visit kimkcoach.com. Join Elijah, Sean Art, Zachary Taylor, and all of the panelists on the NASCAR Pit Stop Show Friday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. They will recap Kansas, preview Martinsville, which is the second to last race they are going to preview as far as that is concerned. They have, after this episode, they have 2 episodes to go in their season, which I do wish them good luck over there in that regard. So there you go. That's a look at this week's upcoming events, brought to you by Kim K Coach Lines, the official motor coach carrier of the PCSRA. Visit kimkcoach.com for details. As far as looking at this week's PCSRA awesome events, I will have the Hungarian. It should be a good idea, so yeah. But looking forward to next week when we recap all these races. Look ahead to Mexico, Phoenix, and of course Sydney too, because the next 4 races for Supercars will be at Sydney. But we have Mexico, which is the next race for F1. They'll wrap up it's the second race of the North American Tour, which they are going to wrap up. And then we have Sydney, of course, as I said. And then we conclude the NASCAR battle at Phoenix International Raceway. Who will be your champions? Who will win Rookie of the Year for trucks if it gets that far? We will just have to wait and see on that. So that is a look at this week's upcoming awesome events for our show, brought to you by Subway Eat Fresh, proud sponsor of Chloe Bumgarner, number 84 Audi RS8. As we close the broadcast, as I said at the top of the show, I've dedicated this show, as always, to my stepmom, who on this Friday will mark the 1-year anniversary since she passed away unexpectedly. And I know it's been a very big, challenging last 12 months for me. And also, it'll be also a year since my dad had COVID-19. But my dad's starting to get better with his voice. You know, he wants to get out of the nursing home. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a choice because we don't have a place for him to live and all that. So we will just have to wait and see what happens. And that's all I can say. So I'm sorry to my dad, but you know, you're fine with where you're at, and there's nothing you can do except just live with it, accept it, and move on. So that's it. Special thanks to everybody who commented in the chat, also to Cody Smart, Nathan Orman, Zachary Taylor, Kyle Langland, and all of our amazing friends on Triple P, Prue Granger, Lucky Prescott, Abigail Stone, our statistician Caleb Hobbs, producer and engineer Zachary Fitzwater, Jackie Tang, Alex Hawkins, Sean Arndt, Dennis Kelly, Tom Shores, all of our friends Greg Rutz, Crystal Fontaine, Daniel Anderson running the show for us back in our PCSRA Network studios. The Oklahoma Highway Safety Office is a proud sponsor of OU Athletics and Triple P and wants to remind you that drinking and driving is deadly and illegal. Together we can end DUI. Visit enduyok.com to learn more. We're definitely going to have a lot of fun. This Friday also, I'm going to point this out, I will be at Mustang watching the Putnam City Mustang game. It will be the first time I've gone to a football game in quite a while. It'll be my only game I'm going to, so I'll be having fun. So if anybody wants to sign some autographs, chat with me. I will be at the game on Friday night, not going out to eat with my roommates as usual. But watching Putnam City and Mustang should be fun, and Mustang is not that far away, if you know what I mean. So there you go. We thank you for joining us, and I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. And if you did, remember to make sure to give it a like, comment down below on your thoughts on what we've seen as far as the news topics and concern. I remember, as always, to subscribe to this channel. We are nearing 300. We are about 94 subs away from 300. So please tell your friends about me. Tell your friends about these awesome videos that I do on this channel. And I will have the Hungarian GP Part 2, which will have the full race out. I will have it out on. I will do it on Twitch and then have it out for you on YouTube for you guys to enjoy before we have our next race at Belgium. So there you go. Until next week, when we recap Martinsville and Sydney, the first Sydney race of 4, go through all of the news and notes and all that good stuff, take you through the top story news and all our fun laughters, and hopefully have panelists. And we look ahead to NASCAR's championship weekend at Phoenix, as well as the Mexican Grand Prix at the Autodromo Jimenez Rodriguez circuit, and the second of 4 races from Sydney. But until those times, and until then, this is Daniel Voles saying, as final score one final time, it was OU 35 and Kansas 23. Until next week, this is Daniel Voles saying, Sooners win, and Boomers Sooner, everybody. We'll see you next week. Happy Halloween, everybody.
On the PCSRA Sports Network from Learfield IMG College, PCSRA Paddock Pass has been brought to you by Budweiser, Love's Travel Stops, iHeartMedia, The Oklahoman, Newcastle Casino, Devon Energy, Sonic Drive-Ins, and by the Oklahoma Highway Safety Office, where we encourage all of you fans that together we can end DUI. Thanks for joining us for the PCSRA Paddock Pass Show. The preceding has been a Learfield IMG College presentation on the PCSRA Sports Network. Copyright 2021 by the National Association of Professional Racing Leagues and the Pacific Coast Sports Racing Association Incorporated.